This season for the Golden State Warriors has not been what I had hoped. Curry is giving it his all at 37 years old, but the supporting cast around him has been really disappointing. In a game against the Blazers, Curry dropped nearly 50 points, yet the Warriors still lost. And right before that, against the Timberwolves, he dropped 39 points, but sadly, once again, no win. So I've decided for today's video, I'm going to be trading every single player on the Golden State Warriors roster, except for the man himself, Stephen Curry. Alright, I've just found ourselves a huge trade here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to be sending them Jimmy Butler, our first round pick, Brennan Pajemski, and Al Horford in return for Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. We won't be keeping Darius Garland around, we will be flipping him right now, but we most likely will keep Evan Mobley around unless there's better trade offers for him. And now we're going to be trading away Jonathan Kuminga and Seth Curry to the Atlanta Hawks in return for Dyson Daniels, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, and he could be the perfect starting shooting guard here besides Stephen Curry. I will most likely be keeping Evan Mobley around. I do like him being on this team. He is a former Defensive Player of the Year, one of the best defenders in the league, and he can also score when we need him to. Garland won't be staying around, so I'm going to see what we could get back in return for him. And also, I would really appreciate it if you guys could take a quick second out of your time to hit that thumbs up button, and also subscribe if you're new. It really does support out my channel a ton. We're almost at 500 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. There's not many good trade offers here for Darius Garland, to be honest. The best trade offer I would say is this trade here with the Utah Jazz, where we would get ourselves Walker Kessler. We do need ourselves a new big man, so might as well get ourselves a Walker Kessler, who's one of the best rim protectors in the entire NBA. And now I've packaged Draymond Green, Moses Moody, and 2 first-round picks in a trade, and let's see what we could get back in return. So it looks like out of all these trades, I would say OG Anunoby is the best trade. We do need ourselves a starting small forward, and OG Anunoby brings defense, but he's also a decent offensive player. The New Orleans Pelicans are offering us Herb Jones in return for Quentin Grimes, Buddy Hield, and a first-round pick. Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. We get ourselves a really good 3-and-D player in Jones. The New York Knicks are offering us Miles McBride, who's a really good 3-point shooter, could come off our bench, provide us with offense, so we're going to be trading away Pat Spencer and Trace Jackson Davis in return for Miles McBride and Ariel Hukporti. The next trade is with the Los Angeles Lakers, where we send them Will Richard and Ariel in return for Dalton Knecht. And the reason I traded for Dalton Knecht is we're going to go ahead to his position, change it to small forward. Now he jumps up to a 79 overall, and then we're also going to flip him for a backup power forward because that's what we currently need on this team. And this trade here is perfect with the New Orleans Pelicans, where we send them Dalton Knecht in return for Saddiq Bey to be the backup power forward. I believe we have about 2 players left that we need to trade on this roster, one of them being DeAnthony Melton, and the other Gary Payton II. I had totally forgot about Q Santos as well, but we're going to be pulling off this trade here with the Phoenix Suns. I don't want Jusuf Nurkic being our backup center, so we're going to acquire Mark Williams from the Phoenix Suns, where we send them Gary Payton II, Jusuf Nurkic, and Q Santos, plus we also get Royce O'Neal. And the last player from the Warriors' previous roster is DeAnthony Melton. We're going to be trading him away to the San Antonio Spurs, where we get ourselves the Spurs 2029 first-round pick and also Bismack Biyombo. Since Stephen Curry is 37 years old, we don't have too large of a window to win a championship with him, which means we're going to have to do everything in our power to win ASAP. But we've officially traded every single player from the Golden State Warriors roster except for Stephen Curry, and this is what the new team will be looking like. After trading away every single player, the new starting lineup will be Stephen Curry, Dyson Daniels, OG Anunoby, Evan Mobley, and Walker Kessler, and then off the bench we have Saddiq Bey, Mark Williams, Herb Jones, and Miles McBride. At the time of this recording, we are the number 9 seed with a total of 13 wins and 15 losses, but hopefully we're able to change things around now that we've upgraded this roster. Let's see how we do here against the Phoenix Suns, and we do end up defeating them 111-97, where Stephen Curry dropped 43 points, Evan Mobley in his Warriors debut had a 15-point double-double, Williams with 13, Saddiq Bey with 11, and OG Anunoby with 10. The next game we have is up against Orlando Magic. Let's see if we're able to defeat them as well, which we do. 113-105, and Curry dropped 35 points. Dyson Daniels had 16, 14 from Mobley, 14 from Williams, 12 from Miles McBride. But we have been doing really well here so far defensively since pulling off all of these trades we've pulled off. We also defeat the Dallas Mavericks 117-107, and Curry dropped 27, Mobley with 22, Dyson Daniels with 17. Currently, we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Steve Kerr. And now I'm going to start simulating here until the trade deadline, where we most likely will be pulling off some more trades. And right now we have below 14 players on our team, which means we need to sign a player that's a free agent. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and sign Malik Beasley on a 2-year contract. He's a really good 3-point shooter, could possibly come off our bench, provide us with shooting and offense. I've stopped here at the trade deadline, where currently we are the number 5 seed with 31 wins and 20 losses. So clearly we have gotten a lot better than before, but there's still a really big problem we face here in our starting lineup. And that is floor spacing. We've become one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. The only elite shooter we have on this team right now is Steph Curry, so our floor spacing in the starting lineup is pretty horrible. Evan Mobley's not really the best 3-point shooter, and then beside him, OG Anunoby has been good, but Dyson Daniels is shooting 19% from the 3-point line. And I do like Dyson Daniels a lot, he's a really good defender, but because of his 3-point shooting, we will have to move on from him. Dyson Daniels and his contract are really hard to trade, and that's because he's on a pretty small contract for the trade value he has, so we're not able to get back many good players in return. But this trade here with the Indiana Pacers I like a lot, where we get ourselves Andrew Nembhard to be the brand new starting shooting guard. I'm not sure if the Pacers will accept this trade, but hopefully they do. We're offering them Dyson Daniels, Royce O'Neal for Nembhard, and they do accept the trade, which means we get Nembhard to be the brand new starting shooting guard. After checking out the team stats, there's still one more trade we're gonna have to pull off, and that's because we have the 10th worst offensive team in the league, only scoring about 115 points per game. But when it comes to defense, we're the best defensive team in the entire NBA, so there is still one last trade I would like to pull off and go out there and get ourselves a good offensive player. After searching around the league, we found the perfect trade here with the Brooklyn Nets, where we're going to be sending them OG Anunoby and Bismack Biyombo in return for Michael Porter Jr., who's averaging a career high nearly 22 points per game on 50, 40, and 80 shooting splits. We also get Terrence Mann, who probably won't crack the rotation, but we're going to pull off this trade anyways. And now we're looking like some true championship contenders. The new 9-man rotation will be Steph Curry, Andrew Nembhard, Michael Porter Jr., Evan Mobley, Walker Kessler, and then off the bench we have Saddiq Bey, Mark Williams, Malik Beasley, and Herb Jones. Since we did trade away OG Anunoby, who was one of our best defensive players in the starting lineup, I hope that doesn't affect our defense all that much. But our offense will definitely be on point now that we have ourselves Michael Porter Jr. I'll see y'all at the end of this season, where hopefully we go on to win ourselves a championship. And we're once again below 14 players on this team, which means we have to sign a free agent. I'm going to go ahead and sign Ben Simmons. He probably won't be a part of our rotation, but perhaps we could trade him this offseason, which is why I signed him on a 2-year contract. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic wins MVP, Cooper Flagg Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Grant 6-man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Buzelis Most Improved, Cade Cunningham wins Clutch Player, Mike Brown Coach, and we end up winning Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections, and surprisingly enough, we don't get a single All-NBA selection, but we do get ourselves Evan Mobley on All Defensive First Team, and that will be it for awards. We did end this season being the number 2 seed, winning a total of 58 games and losing 24. Our team has got a lot better since acquiring Andrew Nembhard and MPJ. Before we start simulating here in the playoffs, let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season, and the leading scorer on our team was Steph Curry, averaging 28 points per game, which is why I was surprised how Steph Curry did not make himself on an All-NBA team despite averaging 28 points per game at age 38. And his shooting splits were amazing as well. MPJ was our second leading scorer, averaging 21 points per game, 7 rebounds, 20 from Mobley, 15 from Nembhard, and 12 from Saddiq Bey. It's now time for the playoffs. In the first round, we're going to be taking on the Dallas Mavericks, who have themselves Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flag, and Anthony Davis. Let's see if we're able to defeat this team. Game number 1 will go to us, and it's Curry dropping 35 points, MPJ with 23, Nembhard with 19, Mobley had himself 10. We do also end up winning game 2 here, and this time it's MPJ leading the way, dropping 30 points, 27 from Curry, and a 23-point double-double from Evan Mobley. And this is why I'm really glad we got ourselves Michael Porter Jr. on our team. We also end up winning game 3, and MPJ drops 28 points, Mobley with 23, Curry had himself 17. And we do not sweep the Dallas Mavericks, but we do end up gentlemen sweeping the Mavericks, and so far Curry's averaging 29 points per game here in the playoffs, 14 from Nembhard, 25 from MPJ, and 17 from Evan Mobley. And in the second round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Houston Rockets, who still have themselves Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün. This is going to be their bench unit. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to the Houston Rockets, and they hold us to 98 points. Curry had 35, but we do fall short. We end up winning game 2. Mobley dropped 27 points, 21 from Curry, and 20 from MPJ. Game 3 will also go to us. Game 4 goes to us, and we gentlemen sweep the Houston Rockets, making it to the conference finals, where we're going to be taking on the Denver Nuggets. And now things are about to get difficult. We're taking on the Joker, Nikola Jokic, who also has himself Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray. If you guys did not know, the duo of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic statistically is the best duo in the entire NBA. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us, and Curry drops 45 points, 18 from Mobley, 17 from Nembhard, and as well as MPJ. Game number 2 will also go to us, and this time it's Curry dropping a 35-point double-double, 28 from MPJ, 26 from Nembhard, and 20 from our backup center, Mark Williams. We do win game 3, and we end up sweeping the Denver Nuggets, and Steph Curry wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 40 points per game and nearly 9 assists per game. Jalen Johnson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Atlanta Hawks. And that means we will be taking on the Hawks here in the NBA Finals, who have themselves Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis, and Okongwu. In the regular season, they were running a guard at their small forward position, so I helped them out and moved around their player positions, put Kristaps Porzingis the power forward, Jalen Johnson at the small forward, and perhaps I shouldn't have done that, because now they're taking us on here in the NBA Finals. Now I'm playing. Of course, I wanted them to run with a proper lineup instead of having a guard at the small forward. But let's see how things go here in the NBA Finals. Game 1 will go to the Hawks. They defeat us here in overtime, 140 to 138. Curry had 33, Mobley 31, but that was not enough. We do end up winning game 2. Curry dropped 30, 26 from Mobley. We defeat them by over 30 points. We do end up losing game 3 here. Trae Young dropped 32 points on our head. We lose by 8 points. Curry had 48 points, 10 made 3-pointers, but we do fall short. What I'm going to do is come up with a defensive coach game plan. I don't want Curry guarding Trae Young. I would much rather have Andrew Nembhard locking up Trae Young. So let me change up some shot tendencies and come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to the next game. I've come up with a defensive coach game plan, also changed up some of our player shot tendencies. We are down 2-1, but I do think this new defensive coach game plan should work. Hawks will have home court advantage for this game, and so far we do have the lead, but we are only up by 3 points going into the fourth quarter. Let's slow this down and see what happens. Hopefully we're able to run away with it. We are outscoring them here in the fourth quarter, but it's still a pretty close game. 2 minutes left, we're up by 4. And all we gotta do is keep this lead, and we do end up winning by 6 points. MPJ had 24, 23 from Nembhard, 23 from Mobley, and 22 from Stephen Curry. Series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Let's go into game 5 and see what happens. We will have home court advantage for this game, and so far we do have the lead. It's a pretty close battle, but never mind, it's no longer close. We're up by 16 points, 5 minutes remaining, and we do end up winning. MPJ led the way, dropping 31 points, 29 from Curry, and 23-point double-double from Evan Mobley. Nembhard has been doing really well for us here in the NBA Finals as well. His shooting splits are unreal. And now we're up 3-2, and all we gotta do is win one more game to win Stephen Curry his 5th championship. Let's jump into Simcast. The Hawks will have home court advantage here, and so far they do have the lead by quite a bit, and it looks like we will end up losing by 25 points. Curry played amazing, putting up 24 points, so did Mobley, but the rest of the team did struggle offensively, and as well as on the defensive side, we allowed them to score 130 points. And oh man, now it's time for Game 7, series tied at 3-3 apiece. Now this is where the real fun begins. We will have home court advantage, hopefully we're able to win this game. Let's see what happens. The first half, we do have the lead so far here in the third period, but we're not up by much. We're up by 5 points here in the third quarter, going into the fourth, and they take the lead from us. Slow this down a little bit and see what happens. It's a back and forth battle, but we are taking the lead from them. All we gotta do is now keep the lead and run away with it. We're up by 1 point. We're up by 3 points. They tie it up. We're back up by 3. And we end up winning the NBA Finals, defeating the Atlanta Hawks by 3 points, 117-114, where Stephen Curry dropped 51 points. Evan Mobley had 26. We played amazing NBA here, amazing basketball here to win the Golden State Warriors another championship, and Stephen Curry wins Finals MVP, averaging 34 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. And that was a very intense NBA Finals here against the Atlanta Hawks. They almost took it there from us, but luckily we came in clutch. Curry dropped 51 points to win us the NBA Finals. Here are the player stats for the playoffs, where we played a total of 21 games. The leading scorer was Steph Curry, putting up 33 points per game, 20 from Mobley, 20 from MPJ, 16.5 from Nembhard. In the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 7 games, Curry was averaging 34 points per game, 24 from Mobley, and 19 from Nembhard. And of course, I will be running it back one more season. Let's see if we're able to win Curry his 6th championship to tie up Michael Jordan. And as you guys can see, Curry is trying to retire this offseason, but of course I will overturn his retirement. But the problem with this is we're only able to overturn a player's retirement once. So that means next offseason he will be retiring no matter what. So we'll have one last season with Stephen Curry before he decides to retire. I want to let you guys in on a little secret here. So Ben Simmons is usually a free agent in 2K Simulation. If you go ahead and sign him, what you could do is change his position from point guard to small forward, and he goes up to an 81 overall. If you run him at the power forward, he'll be at 80, but what I'm going to do is put him at the small forward position, and then we'll most likely be trading him this off season. We don't have ourselves any first round picks in the 2026 NBA draft, so let's go ahead and simulate until team player options, and we don't have to pick up the team option on anyone here, but I do believe yes, so we need to sign both of our big men, Walker Kessler and Mark Williams, who are both free agents. We should have bird rights on them, so that won't be a problem, and exactly, we have bird rights on both Walker Kessler and Mark Williams. And we do end up signing both Walker Kessler and Mark Williams on a 4-year contract. I did overpay them a little bit, and I'll show you guys why here in a second. In this free agency, we've just gotten a huge steal here, signing Mitchell Robinson on a 2-year, $7.34 million contract. We have one too many shooting guards and small forwards, so I will be trading away Terrence Mann here. Let's see if we can get a first round pick for him, and yes, we can, from the Los Angeles Lakers, an unprotected first rounder. And now I'm also going to trade here Michael PV, I don't know how to pronounce bro's name, but we're going to go ahead and trade him to the Atlanta Hawks for a swap best with the Hawks. If you were wondering why I paid Walker Kessler and Mark Williams the extra money, it was because I want to try and acquire ourselves Scottie Barnes from the Toronto Raptors. This season I am planning on running Evan Mobley at the center position, as you guys can see, so he will be the new starting center, and that's why I signed Mitchell Robinson to be the backup center, who's a way cheaper option than Walker Kessler or Mark Williams. So let's see what the Raptors say for this trade if we offer them Kessler and Williams for Scottie Barnes. And they do decline, but we do have ourselves some first round picks that we can throw in here. 1 first round pick does not get it done. Neither does 2, but 3 first round picks does, and we get ourselves Scottie Barnes. Hear me out here for a second. So I threw Michael Porter Jr. and Ben Simmons in Trade Finder, and the Washington Wizards are offering us LeBron James and Bilal Coulibaly. This offseason, LeBron James was trying to retire as well, but I overturned his retirement, which means both him and Curry have only one season left here in the NBA. That would be a perfect way for both of them to go retire, playing together here with the Golden State Warriors, and hopefully we can win them one last title. So I will be pulling off this trade, sending away MPJ, Ben Simmons, and Thibault in return for LeBron James and Bilal Coulibaly. This is going to be a really interesting season here. I'm really happy that we paired up Steph and Curry with LeBron James for the last season before they decide to retire. The new starting lineup will be Steph Curry, Andrew Nembhard, LeBron, Scottie Barnes, Evan Mobley, and then off the bench we have Bilal Coulibaly, Saddiq Bey, Herb Jones, and Mitchell Robinson. The first game of the season is against LeBron James' previous team, the LA Lakers. Let's see if we can defeat them, and yes, we do. 134-127. Evan Mobley dropped 27 points, Curry had 26, and LeBron James with 21. The next game is up against the Portland Trail Blazers, who we also end up defeating 126-120. Curry dropped 30, LeBron dropped 26, and Scottie dropped 20. Can we also defeat the Denver Nuggets? Yes, we do. 130-126. And Mobley led the way here, dropping 27, 24 from LeBron, and 23 from Steph. And for this season, we will be rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under Steve Kerr. I'm going to continue simulating until the trade deadline. I'm not sure if we're going to be pulling off any more trades, but if I do, of course, I'll stop and make sure to show y'all. We're stopped here at the trade deadline. We are currently the number 1 seed with 46 wins and 6 losses. So clearly things have been going our way, so I won't be pulling off any trades here this season, which means I'll be seeing you guys at the end of this season. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win MVP, Cameron Boozer Rookie of the Year, Garland 6-Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Brennan Miller Most Improved, Scoot Henderson Clutch Player, Steve Kerr wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections. We do get ourselves Evan Mobley on All-NBA Second Team, and that will be it, but we do also get Evan Mobley on All-Defensive First Team. That will be it for awards. We ended this season being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 74 games and losing only 8. Which means we've beat the Warriors' previous win-loss record, which was 73 wins and 9 losses. We beat that by 1 win. Before we start the playoffs here, let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season. The leading scorer on our team was Stephen Curry, averaging 25 points per game, and then we had Evan Mobley averaging a 22-point double-double, 20 from Scottie Barnes, 16 from LeBron James, 15 from Nembhard, and the rest of the team was great as well. In the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, who have James Harden, Derek White, and Avia Zubac. And it looks like they also have Darius Garland coming off of their bench as a 6-man behind James Harden. Now it's time to start simulating the playoffs. Hopefully we're able to win Stephen Curry and LeBron a ring here together before they retire. Game number 1 will go to us, and Curry dropped 25 points, Scottie with a 22-point double-double, Mobley with a 13-point double-double. LeBron did struggle here offensively, but that is alright. We do also end up winning game 2, and this time it's LeBron leading the way, dropping 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Mobley had 21, Curry with 14. We also win game 3, and we sweep the LA Clippers, making it to second round. So far, Curry's averaging 24, 13 from Nembhard, 17 from LeBron, 18 from Scottie, and 16 points and 15 rebounds from Evan Mobley. In the second round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Dallas Mavericks, who still have themselves Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flagg, and Anthony Davis. Game number 1 will go to us, and it's LeBron dropping 26 points in 23 minutes. He did foul out, but he still played absolutely amazing. 24 from Nembhard, 22 from Mobley, and 21 from Curry. Game 2 will also go to us. This time it's Curry leading the way, dropping 32 points, 25 from LeBron. Game 3 also goes to us, and we also sweep the Dallas Mavericks, making it to the conference finals. Now we're going to be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have themselves Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Naz Reid, and they do have Rudy Gobert as their 6th man. In the second round of the playoffs, here are the player stats. Curry was averaging 27, 22 from LeBron, and 21 from Andrew Nembhard. Hopefully we're able to defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 1 does go to us, and Curry drops a 30-point double-double, 30-point double-double from Mobley, 20 from Scotty, and a 13-point double-double from LeBron. We also end up winning game 2 here. Curry with 27, Nembhard with 27, LeBron with 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists, 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. We do end up losing game 3. We also lose game 4. Okay, so now the Minnesota Timberwolves are starting to push back, and I will come up with a defensive coach game plan before continuing. I've come up with a defensive coach game plan. I also changed up some shot tendencies for our players. Now let's jump into Simcast for game 5, where we will have home court advantage. And we do start off really strong here, and it looks like we will be winning this game, holding the Timberwolves to 83 points, where Scotty Barnes dropped a 25-point double-double, 23 from Steph, and 16 from Mobley, as well as 6 blocks. The Detroit Pistons have already swept the Toronto Raptors and are waiting in the NBA Finals, so hopefully we're able to beat the Timberwolves here in Game 6 and advance to the Finals. The Timberwolves do have home court advantage, but we do have the lead. We're up by 2 points going into the 4th quarter. Let's slow this down a little bit and see what happens. We are pushing back here in the 4th quarter, but it looks like they do have the lead as of right now. We tie up the game 119 apiece and take it from them, and it went to overtime. Okay, so now they're up by 5 points, 3 minutes remaining here in overtime. Let's push back, and they are starting to run away with it. Looks like they will be winning this game, sadly. Scotty Barnes played amazing, dropping a 23-point double-double, 22 from Curry, but that was not enough. Both teams in a winner-go-home situation. Let's see what happens here, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side, but so far the Timberwolves have the lead. We do end up taking it from them. We're up by 9 points in the 4th quarter. Let's see what happens. We cannot allow them to take the lead here. We are up by 10 points, and yeah, we're most likely going to be winning this game from the looks of things, unless they somehow push back here, which they are starting to do. We're only up by 3 points in the 4th quarter, 2 minutes, 22 seconds remaining. But let's go. It looks like we are going to the NBA Finals. We defeat the Timberwolves by 10 points, where Curry dropped 25, 24 from Scotty, and 18 from Nembhard. And now we're back in the NBA Finals. Evan Mobley wins Western Conference Finals MVP, Cade Cunningham Eastern Conference Finals MVP, which means we're taking on the Detroit Pistons here in the NBA Finals, who have themselves Cade Cunningham, Ivy, Ausar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren. Now it's time for the NBA Finals. I truly hope we're able to win here. We are taking on the Detroit Pistons. Let's start simulating. Game number 1 will go to us, and Mobley with a 25-point double-double, 23 from Curry, 23 from LeBron, and 23 from Scotty. We also end up winning game 2 here. Scotty leads the way, dropping 29, 27 from Mobley, 24 from Curry, and a 12-point double-double from LeBron. We are doing really well here in the NBA Finals so far. We also win game 3. Mobley drops a 28-point double-double, 27 from Curry. And are we going to be sweeping the Detroit Pistons? No, we do not. And we don't gentlemen sweep them, so they are starting to push back here. And I think we should jump into Simcast here to be a little bit careful, but we do start off the first half pretty strong. They are pushing back here in the second half. They outscored us by 10 points in the 3rd quarter, and we do end up winning. Stephen Curry and LeBron James the championship before they retire, and Evan Mobley wins Finals MVP, averaging a 21-point double-double. Before I end out this video, let's take a look at the player stats and how our team did here in the playoffs. We played a total of 21 games, and in those 21 games, Steph was the leading scorer, averaging 25 points per game, 20 from Scotty, 19 from Mobley, and 18 from LeBron. Nembhard was a really good get for our team as well. Bro was averaging 16 points per game, shooting 50, 40, 80. And then in the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 6 games, the leading scorer was Curry once again, averaging 23, 22 from Scotty, 21 from Mobley, and 16 from the man himself, LeBron James. And that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos. That really does help out my channel a ton. And click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.